right, I'm going to call them. Today is Friday, June 18th, 2021. This is a special Board of Education meeting for the East Aurora Union Free School District. I'd ask you all to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
So we have an executive session on this morning, but in order to expedite matters, does anyone object to moving up the other agenda items first and entering into executive session after we conduct the other business? Sounds good. All right, then we do have one agenda change. Item H under section 5. Items requiring board action is an amendment to the contract of employment for the superintendent of schools. Reports and discussion items. Item A, the 2021-2022 Universal Pre-K program.
So Mark Lamberti, Director of Curriculum Instruction and Personnel. So Joanne, our business manager, Cindy, our Director of Pupil Services, Jess Lyons, our elementary principal, and Kim Carly Brown completed the site visit. We only had one applicant. It was from the East Aurora Community Nursery, the one that's located over on Fisher-Price campus. They're a quality operation. They do everything they need and are going to be great partners. They're able to host 2 classes, and so our thought is that we need this board's blessing to move forward with partnering with them. We'll have one class here on our Parkdale school run by us. We'll have 2 classes over at the East Aurora Community Nursery run by them, but under our supervision. We're asking this board if they have any questions. I believe next Thursday, the Fisher-Price board has to agree to it from there. And then from there, the director of both Pupil Services and the Community Nursery and the lawyers figure out all the details, and we'll keep the board in the loop with that. So the plan for next year is 3 UPK classes, 1 at Parkdale, 2 at the Community Nursery on Fisher-Price campus.
Thank you. Sorry, we switched the agenda around. Anybody had a trip on the stairs? Anybody have any questions?
No, I have a question.
Yes, Jim.
The involvement of Fisher-Price in this program, you said it requires their board's approval. Explain to me how Fisher-Price is.
I apologize. I anecdotally called it Fisher-Price because that's what everyone calls it. Fisher-Price itself has no involvement. It's the board of the East Aurora Community Nursery,
All right.
which everyone calls the Fisher-Price daycare. Yeah. But it's not. They are just tenants. Fisher-Price has nothing to do. They're just the landlords of the nursery.
The reason I asked is I was involved in the very beginning of the East Aurora Community Nursery, and in those days it was residing in our schools. We leased them space, and right. They're a great organization. They have a terrific reputation, and I'm delighted that they applied to be part of this. I'm also delighted that we can do 1 class at Parkdale. I think it's a great thing. When the East Aurora Community Nursery moved over to the Fisher-Price campus, they made an arrangement with Fisher-Price to accommodate the children of Fisher-Price employees. So they have some kind of a contract associated with that. Does that have any effect on the UPK program?
Nope, we're going to run completely independent. Really, Fisher-Price is just the campus that they're on. Our partnership is just with the East Aurora Community Nursery as it is, and that's the board that needs to, again, kind of give its assent to this partnership.
Thank you. I have no other questions, and I'm delighted to support this and appreciative of the work that has been done so quickly to make it a reality.
I just have one small question. Are we busing or no?
The plan as of now is busing. There's a million details to work out, but our intent is to bus. And because of that, we will extend the enrollment window for an additional week once that's confirmed to parents. So if something that was holding back a parent was the busing, that they also can put their ticket in the lottery as well. And then the whole lottery will be drawn once that. So yes, the intent is to bus.
Thank you, Judy, for asking that question. It's early in the morning. You got by me. It was on my list.
I had parents ask me. That's why.
It is our intent. There's just, as you know, a million moving details of busing 3- and 4-year-olds. So that is part of our intent.
I wonder if someone from our school could give the Rural Outreach Center a call just to let them know that busing is provided. For this program.
We can't call any place in specific, but we can make that part of our advertising out to the community.
Yeah, I tell you what, the problem is that all the paperwork said busing was not included.
Correct.
And so there may very well be people in the community who have limited resources and didn't bother to apply because they saw that. So we have to make a concerted effort to let the community know that the busing is included.
Yes, but it will be community-wide, though. We can't target that, but yes, you're absolutely right.
Well, I can't solve it.
Is the community preschool still going to run some additional classrooms?
Yep, so this will be, again, they're at an enrollment lull right now. So net total, this will be one additional classroom for them to run, but there will be 2 classes that are just UPK, just our curriculum, all the rest of that. In normal years, this would actually be a net 2, but their enrollment is still down. But they have the space, they have the staffing, everything is good, they're ready to go.
Suzanne and I were talking about this yesterday, and she was saying that Kim Brown took their curriculum home with her and is kind of examining it and kind of going, we're going to be developing our curriculum and kind of seeing what we can do to pair that up so that all students that attend are kind of getting similar experience in terms of preparation for coming to kindergarten. And so I think it can be really powerful in regard to, we've always tried and we've always partnered with the various preschools in town, but it's a lot to manage because there's so many separate organizations. So we're going to have 54 students, in our program, and then they have another contingency that attend there regularly. Boys and Girls Club, those types of things are the main providers. And so we also got some positive news that they might be actually expanding the program at the federal level. So that could be not only for 4-year-olds, but potentially for 3-year-olds. We still have another 75 4-year-olds who'd like to get into it, or at least be able to offer it to them. But a lot of positive stuff from this. Working with the community nursery, I think, is going to be a really great partnership just because of their capacity. And that was, I think, some of the issues for some of the smaller organizations is the capacity and the requirements of the grant. There are a lot of requirements that you have to jump through to make sure that you qualify, so that when you go to the site visit, things in the appropriate place. So I think. A lot of positive things are happening, and the transportation piece. Again, we talked about that specifically yesterday. Looks like the regular routes will hopefully be able to use those, and then it's the middle of the day that's a little bit of a challenge. So, how do we bring the kids to Parkdale, then take the whole group over, and then pick the whole group up and bring them back so that they can hop on the bus at the end of the day? So there's a little bit of extra transportation there, but we should be able to take them like as an entire.
Well, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's great.
Just on the street. Yeah. So.
Yeah, the key is they can't fit the 18 buses in the Fisher Price parking lot, so we got to devise a shuttle system. So we're worrying about that at our level, but we're optimistic both financially and logistically we'll get it done.
Thank you.
Great, thanks. No objection to going forward.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, worked out very nicely. Thank
And
you.
then one thing that we still have to do is we have to, there's an application that's going to come out from the state. Even though the funding isn't dependent on the application, the program is dependent on the application. So as soon as that comes out, we have to submit that application. So it's really the final hurdle. But we've been told that they're very, they want to make sure that everything is in place, but there's never any problem with those being approved because they want to get as many programs out as possible.
Unlike capital costs.
Yeah. Okay. Almost that, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming out.
Thanks.
All right, moving on to items requiring board action. Item A, the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the contract for extension proposals as detailed on the attachment for school business administrator Joanne George, effective for the 21-22 school year. Moved by Dan, seconded by Jessica. Discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried 6-0. Item B, the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the contract extension proposals as detailed in the attachment for assistant superintendent, chief information officer, Mark Membretti for the 21-22 school year. May I have a motion?
Second.
Moved by Jessica, seconded by Dan. Discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried 6-0. Thank you both.
Congratulations.
Item C, the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the appointment of Assistant Superintendent, Chief Information Officer Mark Manfredi as Director of Technology for the 21-22 school year at the stipend indicated. May I have a motion? Moved by Jessica, second by Dan Brunson. Discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried 6-0. Thank you, Mark, for taking on those additional duties again. Item D, the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the salaries for confidential managerial staff. Jennifer Eppenheimer, Donna Kroll, Barbara Mann, Mary Petak, Jane Rosser, and Melissa Webster, effective for the 21-22 school year as detailed in your attachment. May I have a motion? Moved by Judy, seconded by Kim. Discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried 6-0. Item E, the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the creation of a 1.0 FTE position in the physical education 10-year area, effective September 1 of 2021. May I have a motion? Moved by Jessica, seconded by Judy. Discussion?
Yes, I have a question. Brian, in the final budget presentation, the listing of new positions included one new phys ed position, but it said long-term sub. Is that this position?
Yeah, this is that position, Dan, because what we decided to do is that with the new program that we're going to be doing next year, we decided to make it a probationary position to attract the best candidates, because we know that we're going to roll it into a probationary position for next year.
Okay, so it is the one that is in the budget. It's not an additional phys ed.
Yeah, what we're doing is that we're not filling the long-term sub, we're creating this, and then it's all gonna work itself out a year from now.
That's the only one.
Yep. Yep.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried 6-0. Item F, the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the creation of a 1.0 FTE position in the education of children with handicapping conditions, general special education, 10-year area, effective September 1. I have a motion. Moved by Judy, seconded by Kim. Discussion?
Yeah, I have a question on this one too. And again, in the final budget presentation, the special ed program additions were listed. I think there were 2. But it said on the cost associated with it that it was budget neutral. What does that mean?
So this is the in-house 811 program, and the funds for it come from us not paying BOCES to service those children. So basically, it's going to be a wash. Actually, we're actually going to save a little bit of money.
It's almost a transfer from the
Yeah.
BOCES line up to the salary line.
Yes, yes.
In order to accommodate this.
Simply speaking, yes, and we believe it's better for the kids because they're going to be our kids here in our building with our teacher.
Thank you, that's all.
Yep.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried 6-0. Item G, the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the unpaid child care leave of absence for Karen Orr, foreign language Spanish teacher, effective September 1 of 2021 through January 30th of 2022. I have a motion.
So,
Moved by Dan, seconded by Jessica. Discussion?
is this within the scope of the contract?
Yes.
In other words, there's a limitation on the number of
Yep.
semesters.
This is the last of within it. Yes.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried 6-0. Item H, the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the amendment to the contract of employment for the superintendent of schools effective July 1 of 2021 as detailed in the attachment. I have a motion. Moved by Jessica,
Second.
seconded by Dan Brunson. Discussion?
I hate to be the only one chiming in here, but for some reason I didn't see the attachment, and it isn't attached here. So
I do.
Okay, did you send it to, you probably sent it to us, and I just didn't pick
It's, yeah,
it up.
it's part of the,
It was a link on that revised agenda.
yes,
You know, and could you just tell us what it is?
just covers the cell phone.
So it's just a new paragraph to the contract that says you reimburse for your cell phone. That's the only thing.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried 6-0. Just a reminder to folks, we have a special Board of Education meeting June 25th in the superintendent's office. And again, Tuesday, June 29th in the evening at 5:30. superintendent's office. We will now be, I'm going to make a motion to enter executive session, but I just, for purposes of the recording, our intent following executive session would be just to adjourn the meeting. We'll return to public session for the sole purposes of adjourning the meeting. No additional public business will be taking place this morning. So with that caveat, may I have a motion to enter executive session to discuss matters related to the employment history of one particular employee and matter related to a particular student. Moved by Kim, seconded by Judy. Discussion. All those in favor, please say aye. Carried 6-0.